It's still, moving forward. What I can say is there is a very unified effort with his representation and the people around him, with the people that did the operation, the doctors, with our medical staff, with the team, with me, the coaching staff. We're all doing this like there's a unified sort of spirit and line of communication. What that means in regards to, when's he going to come play again, that's still unknown. Today, behind us, he'll be doing some stuff with shooting and scripting, really for the first time with his team. But what that translates to in regards to, when's he going to go play for us again on a court, we don't know.
Will he be doing contact?
Not right now.
I know you touched on this last night a little bit in terms of understanding where he comes from, post like that, about being competitive. Is that something you've talked with him at all about? Is that something that bothers you at all that he comes out and brings things in public?
What I said last night, I would repeat 10 times out of 10. And I really don't have anything else to say more than what I said last night.
How do you continue to prepare and I guess make those adjustments? You went through it in the regular season not knowing what you're going to happen. Does that help at all in this situation with Embiid not knowing whether he'll play the next game or not play the next game?
No, it wouldn't help. It definitely wouldn't help. But if you gave me the choice of this uncertainty versus the possibility, I take possibility all day, every day. Joel Embiid makes us different. We all know this. We all understand this. Like, I watched that second period, and really, like, when you cut to the chase, we won the first period, we won the third period, and we won the fourth period. And we won 3 out of the 4 periods. Just we were that poor in the second. It was like a 34-13 swing, and we had no semblance of order, offensively especially, that his presence, his availability makes the world go around. You can post him. And this thing, Marshall, that you're talking about, the unknown doesn't make it hard, yes. But the possibility, is what rings in my ears the loudest. And I'll take that over the uncertainty of is he free, is he available or not.
What do you want Joel to get out of whatever he's going to be able to do today?
Touch a ball, be with his team, run a few of his plays, that stuff.
In retrospect, did Fultz have enough preparation time leading up to what's really been a rugged series and something different than he saw at the end of the
I mean, in an ideal world, absolutely not. You don't take a 19-year-old kid, play him 10 games at the end of the regular season, and then like throw him into a first round of an NBA playoffs and say anything else but that. I think he's been remarkably good given the tiny little window of preparation that he has had. And no is the answer to your question, but I think his 10 games and what we saw in 10 games gave you hope that he could come in and still help our team, and I think he has.
You're right.
Is he going to remain the same depth chart, or is he back there?
I think everything is sort of on the table right now, trying to figure out if where Joel fits. Is it TJ or Markelle? Might TJ still grab a few minutes at the 2? It's all that, and I'm not really in a position right now to say anything more than that.
You're big on film clips, breaking stuff up, using visual aids to teach. Did you show anything to them today that you want as far as a response for Game 3 and what you're looking for?
We watched the whole second period.
Is that truths?
Yeah,
Frank?
yeah, I love it. Isn't it? If we were all, and it needs to be led by me, like really adults in the room, and thought, how do you take this and make it a positive? We haven't lost since March 13th, and that feeling of losing we haven't felt in a while, and I'm reminded how it's not a great feeling. And you don't really sleep, and you think, and what do you want to do, and like your mood changes, and the team's mood changed, and it should. And Coach O'Brien, my trusted assistant, said something I think that was smart. It's like, the playoffs don't really start till each team gets punched in the mouth. And so far, we've each been punched in the mouth, and so now here we go. And, that second period, we went through play by play by play and talked about good and bad and moved on. But it's part of the growth of us, and it's part of just getting through a series, making the game adjustments, continuing to get better, all the stuff I would say.
But do you ever find it difficult to remember that Dario is only in his second year, as far as his attitude and approach to a game?
Very much so. I followed him for so long prior to becoming a Philadelphia 76er, so I feel like I have been with him since, the get-go. But to your point, it's only his second year. Yes, Sarah, I do forget, really by sort of NBA standards, his limited kind of experience, and certainly, obviously playoff experience.
Coach, I know you're not a doctor, so I'm not sure how much insight you could share on this, but is Joel progressing towards being cleared for contact?
Yes, he is progressing, and it's such a, open-ended word. I feel responsible saying, yes, he is progressing. Yes, he is progressing.
But
Yeah.
you guys have, you're not practicing Wednesday, so I guess Thursday shoot-around would be baby a time where he can...
Maybe,
like
and
that?
and today we'll get up and down and, do some script stuff, not entirely physical stuff, but, it's progressing, and when that ultimately, leads to an answer he's playing, I don't believe is that far away, but we'll learn more, over the next 48 hours, I suspect.
Coach, the series shifts to Miami now, and neither team in the regular season was able to win, away from home. What are you getting these guys ready for in terms of playing a road playoff game? I mean, obviously they had so much support in those first two games.
Just that whole tightness of a team to let them remember the work that we have put in. We don't have to make stuff up. We feel we are going down there equipped to win. We have what we need to win. And, making sure that the group is as tight as we can be. Obviously, the distractions of Miami or family or whatever are real for any team, and just trying to stay together and sort of bunker in type mentality with our group. And, I thought their physicality in game two is one that we respect. At times we handled it well, at other times we didn't, and we need to be able to handle that more and, try to do what they did. They broke our serve. They broke our serve. Now they got what they wanted. They're going home, and we need to do the same. We need to go down there and find a win.
How do you counter their physicality?
Space, speed, fundamentals of getting open, technique of creating a lead, body, ball being strong, purposeful knowledge of what structure you're in, those types of things, not begging or asking for anything from a referee, and you move on.
Did you see any of that in the fourth quarter when it seemed like you guys were able to build a run? It also seemed like Ben kind of just seemed like he had enough. Is that part of it too, being, just dialing into that level of aggression to force the issue?
When you say Ben had, I understood all of it except
Or
when
just it seemed like he really kind of started to impose his will a little bit more in the fourth quarter.
A little bit more. I feel there was no secret. None of us, were shocked at how the game was played and how the game was reffed. It's just I've been doing this long enough to know this, and so to try to convey that messaging to guys that haven't played in the playoffs and responded to a game two after you've won game one, it's words from a coach. To live it in real time themselves and have them tell me, as I introduced the second period, the first sentence out of my mouth was, you tell me, what did you see? What did you feel? You guys that played the game, the bench guys that didn't get in the game, what'd you and we just shared open thoughts and okay, that's fine, now what? How do you combat that? And you talking about Ben, going to a different place, physicality, or just the physical side of it, I suppose. There is some truth to that. In general, like, that's what the playoffs are, and it's gonna get more and more and more each game. And we look forward to playing in Miami.
When you started Ilyasova, did you think it would impact your bench as much as I thought it ended up doing?
I think you can read into it a little bit. Like, I go back and I look at our shots, and most of the shots that we don't talk offense, defense, most of the shots that we got were shots that I was okay with. I thought that in the second period, there were probably 7 possessions. I had no idea what we were doing. And, you know, some of the lineups, because we started Ersan, were reshuffled a little bit, but not to the point where I had buyer's remorse at all. You know, we won the first period, what was it, 27-22 or 29-22, whatever it was. I liked how we started the game. I thought the middle period, that second period rather, was the meltdown.
In order to get a second ball handler on the court, you have to make some concessions in terms of spacing and shooting. How much does that maybe impact you when Miami dials up the pressure a little bit?
And so give me an example of your second ball handler.
Well, like TJ doesn't have the quickest release, or Markel
Yeah.
Brady,
Yeah.
something like that, things like that.
Yeah, and it is a challenge. And so, as we've said before, you know, sort of the holy grail of playoff basketball is shooters. And, you know, rotations generally don't swell, you know, they shrink. And if you're saying, and I agree with you, like other ball handlers are TJ and Markel, yet right now you wouldn't really call them shooters, you know, now what? There are challenges. And, you know, how we ought to sub that with that truth you just said is on our mind. You know, I think that it's as simple as that. Like, you can have shooters or you can have, you know, secondary ball handlers. And that's the decision I got to sort of make.
Coach, we talk a lot in the playoffs about individual player matchups, but you've been very complimentary of Eric Spoelstra. Spoelstra's been very complimentary of you. Is there anything to the idea as a head coach of going up against a coach who you know is extremely talented, one of the tops in the league, and the challenges that bring, or does that not even enter into anything?
It really doesn't enter into it. Like, I've known Eric for a long time. I've got a ton of time for him. He's, I think what he's done in taking Coach Riley's sort of cultural foundation and just ran with it. And I respect Coach Riley for recognizing they had somebody like Eric in the program that could continue the ways of the program, the culture. And it's one of the things I respect about the Miami Heat organization. You know, they keep things in-house. It's very tight. They promote from within. There's not a lot of, like, wholesale changes. It's solid. And I think that is one of the reasons that makes them so annually successful, and one of the reasons that I have as far as declaring my respect for their program. You know, I've said it reminds me of San Antonio in many ways. And that sort of global comment, I'm mindful of when we play them. To go anything more like granular than that, no. But I think holistically, I respect the Miami Heat.
Have you coached rebounding in Joel's absence? It seems like you guys have been able to still maintain a pretty good level of success in that area.
I mean, I stand by the notion that if you really want to get better at something, and you spend the time to get better, you can get better. I'm convinced that you can get better at what you want to get better at most times. Sometimes I'm wrong, but most times. And we have invested, to an obnoxious standpoint, time when Joel especially went down on rebounding. It was my pre-mortem. If we're going to die, what's it look like? And I felt like it was rebounding without Joel. And I think our guys have been excellent, you know, rebounding on both sides. You know, we had, I think, 16, 15 offensive rebounds last night, 17 the night before. That's a big number. That's a really big number. And defensively, you know, I think we've done a pretty good job of boxing out there too, but it's come with effort. It's come with work and a lot of film work. Okay, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.